This 100% proves that Jaren is the enemy of flat earth. He is not a legitimate flat earther. And he is 100% a shill. There is no way someone this stupid could have ever given me any legitimate knowledge in my life. Just listening to the way he talks and what he does here. I want you all to watch this. This is absolute insanity.
It's not getting through to them. So, what am I supposed to do? So here's the premise is, does science prove things? Okay. Now, if we go over here to a internet search, does science prove things? Now that here comes Quantum Eraser and all these jokers and jackals saying like, he's looking at Google and calling.
You're talking about Quantum Eraser? Quantum Eraser would chew you up and spit you out. You don't even speak to a high intellectual level, high enough for that matter, to even have a conversation with someone like Quantum Eraser. You are a fraud. You are a liar.
Not the truth. I'm just showing you that I'm not alone in my statement. In fact, every single person in the world and every person in science says the same thing. Okay? So
that is a lie. All of the most famous scientists throughout history and colleges and everywhere, any of Quantum Eraser's live presentations that he's done will show you 100% all of the links and all of the books that these scientists have put out. Listen at this. This dude does a Google search.
If that's wrong for me to be on the same side as Google, so be it. There's a reason why science doesn't prove things. I'm about to show you why. But scientific proof is a myth. I didn't put is science a myth. I put does science prove things. Scientific proof is a myth. Why? Because it's completely impossible to prove anything in science.
That is from Forbes. Forbes said that people who died recently, my family members, did not die of what they went and got done. Having strokes, heart attacks, third nerve palsy, cancer increases, pericarditis. That the own companies admit that that is the side effects now. And Forbes said that that ain't what happened. Forbes is a fact checker. He's taking Forbes. Forbes, the most untrustworthy news network behind CNN and Fox, is agreeing with Jaren.
Okay? Real scientists never use the words scientific proofs. In this limited sense, proof is the high degree of acceptance of a theory following a process of inquiry. I don't even know what that is.
Oh, yeah, you don't know what that is, because that is scientific evidence once you actually do a scientific experiment. Of course you don't know what that is. You don't know what science is, you clown show.
The core of science, relating evidence and ideas, misconception. Science proves ideas.
Oh,
Forget what you've read. Science can't prove a thing.
that's from Conversation. All of these are fake science outlets, every single one of them, and you all know that. Why don't you type in 250 new cases and tell me which one of these keep popping up?
Why science does not prove anything. If you say science is right, you're wrong. Science doesn't prove anything, and that's a good thing. Okay, let me explain why science doesn't prove things, because you'll...
So this is 100% smoking gun proof that this dude is an agent. This is 100% smoking gun proof. He is an agent. But this goes even further. Listen.
never know that you have everything covered. let's give an example based on what Nathan Oakley says. When I asked Nathan, okay, Mr. Science proves things, name something that science has proved. Now, you'd think if he's going to yell and call me names and every name in the book and
a lack of vitamin C, a severe vitamin C deficiency causes scurvy. In every human on this earth, it will happen every single time. That is science.
I'm a scammer, all these things. Then he would at least have some things that science has proved. He has one, if you want to give him.
No, he has many. And anybody who's watched his shows over the years know that he's shown many examples of scientific experiments, and so has Quantum Eraser.
Yeah, and that one thing is that heat causes water to boil. Okay, this is the only thing you can come up with.
Facts.
And it wasn't that originally, if everybody remembers. If you go back in time, originally it was water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Well, I disproved that, so what did they do? Did they ever admit they were wrong? No, they just switched. They just went to the different narrative and said, oh, now it's heat causes water to boil. But let me explain something. Let's just take, for example, let's pretend that it took 300 degrees Fahrenheit to boil water. Again, we're just pretending. Okay, we're just saying, let's pretend it takes 300 degrees Fahrenheit to boil water. Okay, and let's say back in the day, we have a hypothesis.
Okay, I'm going to stop real quick because this is, let's say, for example, let's go in mystery land. Let me give you that's a fallacy, number one. You can't be up here going into imagination land. You stay on the same topic. But for the purposes of hearing what he says about this water situation, I want to show you how stupid he is.
We're going to do our scientific test. We're going to use the scientific method. And our hypothesis is heat causes water to boil. Okay? So what do? We go get a pot of water, and we are going to test. Our independent variable is going to be the heat. And so we apply fire to the bottom of this pot. And because the fire can't get the pot at 300 degrees Fahrenheit to boil the water, it just sits there. And we're like, that's weird. So we add a little more heat. We try to make the fire hotter, and we just keep getting nothing. There's no boiling of water. According to Nathan, who says that you either prove your hypothesis or you prove the null. Well, since it didn't boil, then we proved the null, meaning that no, heat does not cause water to boil.
This dude said heat does not cause water to boil. Water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Do you understand? That is what temperature the water needs to get at in order for it to boil. Not you throw fire underneath of something and say, oh yeah, we ain't got enough heat, so it ain't working. Dumbass. It doesn't matter. You have to have enough heat. Heat is the cause. Regardless of how you feel, you don't have enough heat, so it ain't working. However, it is an observed phenomenon. And when you actually measure the temperature of what it takes to boil water, it has a boiling point. Do you all understand? This is the boiling point of water. I don't want to hear that you're manipulating the water in some way or taking it at a certain elevation or certain air pressure that's causing it not to be able to boil. At where we are, depending on where you are, regardless, it will boil due to heat. Whether you have enough heat is not here nor there. So what does cause water to boil? Ice? Maybe we don't have enough ice. Maybe if we go to the Arctic, we might be able to get enough ice that'll cause water to boil. Observe a natural phenomenon. Do we see people putting water in vacuums that causes it to boil? No, that is an unnatural way to boil and freeze water by placing it into a vacuum. That is not a natural phenomenon. We do not observe a vacuum at all. Fahrenheit, temperature, heat, temperature. That is the cause of water to boil. You can get specific. Oh, but just because you don't add enough heat, now all of a sudden heat don't cause it to boil no more. So what does? What does? If heat won't boil it, how the hell are you going to boil water?
But we would be wrong. Do you understand?
You're not.
Even though we did a scientific hypothesis test and we went through the method and everything like that, we were wrong because we didn't apply enough heat. So that's just an example of why.
You didn't apply enough heat. It doesn't mean that heat is not the cause of it. That's your own stupidity for not adding enough heat. And when it is proven that heat will cause water to boil, then that is a proof and a scientific fact. Are you guys seriously listening to Jaren? I honestly want to know how many people, leave me some comments on here. How many people are actually listening to what that shill, okay, Jaren has to say? Honestly, this is beyond, look at all the super chats coming in. This is actually in real time. People are actually giving money. And he literally said that heat doesn't cause water to boil. You heard it. You wonder why I'm so upset. This piece of garbage, okay, has like 160,000 subscribers and one of the biggest guys in flat earth just on YouTube alone. And he's giving people bad information. You will never be able to prove anything if science proves nothing. That means that your XY and XX chromosomes don't prove anything. Why hasn't the entire community upended Jaren? What are you all doing? He's blowing smoke up you right now. I couldn't see that he was a shill years ago because he was giving good information. Doing crypto class. The government's going to control your crypto. Are you stupid? What makes you think that you are allowed to have your own private currency? That is illegal. This is what I'm talking about. It is illegal to print money. You have to be joking with me.
Science can't prove things. You never can know that you've covered all your bases. Ever.
You can know. And if you haven't, then that means it's left unknown. Don't make accusations then. So if you don't add enough heat to water, then that's an inconclusive experiment.
It's impossible. To say science proves things is to admit that you're God. It's to admit that you have seen all possibilities. You've taken everything into account. There is no possibility of anything outside that. Think of the light.
Every search on Google says science doesn't prove anything. That is a red flag for your little tiny brain to realize that, oh, wait a second, if Google's telling me all of this right now, and I know that all that's on Google is nothing but lies. Like, look up, did JFK get assassinated by Hitler? Why don't you look that up and see what comes up? Why don't you look up whether or not HW had anything to do with any of that stuff? Why don't you look that up? Why don't you look that up? What do you think Google's going to tell you? Huh? What do you think they're going to tell you? Huh? What do you think that Google's going to tell you? Every Google result is saying that science doesn't prove anything. This is what I'm talking about right here. This is smoking gun proof that he is a liar. He is a scammer. He is a fraud.
Spectrum that we can see. We see the tiniest little percentage of light on the spectrum.
David Icke.
Now imagine that we're trying to do scientific tests to prove things, but we didn't know about all this other light that we can't see. Okay, we've talked about it before with maybe.
What does light have to do with an observed phenomenon? All you have to do is look and see out in nature, in hot springs and other places, water boiling. And then after you have discovered that you see the water doing something crazy, like fire, all of a sudden you see lightning strikes a tree and the tree catches on fire and you're wondering, what is that fire? What is that burning? And you decide to add as much heat to a tree as possible until it starts to smoke and catching on fire. That's how you do science. What does it have to do with how much light on a spectrum that we can see? Have you all lost your minds? Have you all collectively just lost your damn minds? Did you go and get your boosters?
They did a test in the past in the 1800s where they were doing a scientific test of what caused your skin to burn. And then they figured out and they said, oh, well, we've proven it.
What causes skin to burn? What? So you out in the sun, and your skin's getting burned.
It's the sunlight that's doing it. And then down the road, somebody was inside of a house and installed a UV bulb, and before you know it, they got burnt, and everybody's confused. Why am I getting burned? I thought we proved that it was sunlight. Oh no, it turns out it was actually UV rays. Okay?
That is splitting hairs, and that is something completely different. The UV rays from the sun, regardless, that's what happens. Do you have a UV lamp out in nature, or is that man-made? Is a UV lamp out in nature, or is it man-made? Is a vacuum chamber out in nature, or is it man-made? The sun rays, whatever you want to call it, was the cause of your skin burning. Because when you walked into your stupid ass house, it was your UV lamp that burned your skin, not the sun. What was the cause of people out in the field getting burned by the sun? You all are getting your mind raped. I did not want to believe that Jaren was actually a piece of trash shill. I didn't want to believe that. There's 160-some thousand subscribers all listening to him and arguing and starting fights in our community that we have been working so hard on. Now I can't even suggest these videos or other people's videos to any of my friends, because when they see this fakery and lies, they're going to come back and argue with me about it. So we're no longer going to be able to wake people up. We're going to be in a constant fight because somebody doesn't realize the way science works. So you go in the house with a UV lamp and burn the hell out yourself because you're crazy. And then you say that the people that were out in the sun when there was no UV lamp out there, that the sun wasn't the cause of them getting burned out outside. Woo! Oh my God. Oh, I am so happy that I don't look at this dude. I'm so happy that I was able to break free and learn what real science is, to the point where people who taught me about this topic, I can teach them at this point, especially the fake shills like Jaren. If you're up here sending money to Jaren, you're a piece of trash, dude. You're a piece of trash. Honestly, I mean, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Leave me as many bad comments as you want. Guess what? I don't give a damn. Not even a little one, okay? All the Google searches says agrees with him. Google agrees with him. Meanwhile, he gets censored off of YouTube and almost gets his channel deleted. And other people are sending him super chats ain't going over to Rockfin. Billy Gates and them proved that the human population is really stupid, but I thought the flat earth community was a little bit smarter. Come to find out, you're only a step up. You're only a step up. If you don't know what science is, you're only a step up above the rest of these idiots around you wearing these masks. You're only a step up. So please, don't let the Dunning-Kruger affect you, making you think that you're smarter than you actually really are, okay? You're overestimating your own intelligence. Trust me, by a lot, okay? Go back to third grade science.